would you like to be a well-known, recognized brand so that people trust you very quickly? So what this looks like for you, honestly, is having people just buying from you just from consistently seeing your content. This is what we're going to talk about today, and I am so excited. So, first of all, if we have not met, my name is Nikki Henricks, and I am a personal brand stylist. And so, here's the thing, I really focus on helping female entrepreneurs create wardrobes that are aligned with their brand. Why? Because this creates consistency. It helps them get seen more. It helps them be remembered more. And with those two things, it helps them get hired more. So today we're going to talk about something that is an essential in a female entrepreneur's wardrobe. And it's probably not something you're going to think of. And honestly, it's really not talked about. But if you are wanting to really use your style as a strategy for your business and be able to make sales more quickly, then listen up because that's what we're going to be discussing today. Okay, so let's get started. So I want to talk about consistency, first of all, in your style. Now, and what that has to do with really creating and having a strong, well-known, recognizable brand. Now, if you've heard of the Kind Bar, the founder is Daniel Labutsky, and he was asked on Instagram one time, or on a video that was on Instagram, he was asked, okay, he's a billionaire. He's like, okay, for people that are going to watch this video, what should they know about creating a $1 billion brand? What do they need to know? And the first thing he said, consistency. Consistency is so important in building a strong brand. Why? So many reasons, so many trails we could go on, but consistency creates trust. And if you are someone that loves data or numbers, I have a lot this episode, so get ready. If you aren't, still be ready to be blown away by just the research of having a consistent brand, what it can do for your business. Okay, so consistency equals trust. Also, consistency, and do you know what that can do for you? Consistency has been found that it can boost, when you have a consistent brand, it can boost your revenue 20%. Okay. Also, it brings familiarity, right? And like think of brands that are very consistent with their colors. Okay, so I'm gonna say some brands, and most likely you're gonna get a picture in your head because you're so familiar, because they're so consistent on having the same colors in their logo, in their trucks, if they have trucks, just in the things that they do and how they promote themselves. So think about like Post-it notes, the yellow color. John Deere, I don't know. I'm from Wisconsin, and so and I'm a farmer's wife, so I don't know how far that goes, but John Deere is a very, like, if you know it, it's green and yellow. We have FedEx or UPS. FedEx, like the orange and the blue. UPS, like I think it's black. I don't think it's a dark brown, but it's like black and then like a medium brown color, right? Let's see what else I had. Oh yeah, and then Tiffany & Co. Like the Tiffany blue color, right? Um, these companies, these brands are very strategic in consistently showing off these colors in their logos and things so that they're like, hey, remember us. Like, people become so familiar that you don't even have to, you could see those colors somewhere and you just like that would pop in their head. And you can do this with your brand. You can become like stuck in someone's mind that if they're like, oh, that color, that specific color purple, or that specific color blue, like they automatically think to you, are like you are thought to them. And here's the thing is that people often prefer familiar brands to buy from. 59% of global shoppers actually want to buy new products from familiar brands. So, how can you apply this to your style? Being consistent with your colors you wear. And here's the thing, the honest truth, it can truly benefit your business in such a way. It can help you get more sales, but a lot of people can hear this message. And I hope you are one that if you take it to heart, it can truly impact your business. But also, like so many other things in business, it takes intention. It takes consistency, which can kind of feel boring at sometimes. But if you are consistent in your colors with what you are wearing, you are using your style as a strategy. I want to give you like a couple stories of one is my own personal story, and then another is one that I read in a book about how taking and being consistent with your styling colors created impact and remembrance in people's minds so that whoever was wearing the colors, their brand was really being remembered. So, first of all, my story. So I it was a couple months ago, was meeting with someone via Zoom and well, a little bit backstory. So I met with a professional branding expert about a year ago. And like I had kind of put together my own brand colors, but I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was able to meet with a branding expert. We talked about my business and all of that, and she gave me a brand palette and I started incorporating that. And not only did I incorporate that in my business, in my logo, but I also started incorporating that in my style. And I decided, okay, like recognition, our brain can only recognize so many things. So with the businesses that I like told you, it's not like 10 different colors, right? It's like 3 to 5. I did a little research. I think it's like 5 to 7 normally colors that really can be recognized by someone. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick one color that I'm gonna go super strong on to really create brand recognition. Now, I did do this with my logo as well. And I did do it with some emojis on like Instagram and messaging, like some purple hearts. But I also wore like this shirt very often. And I was consistent by showing up very often in this color purple. So met with a brand person, and then it was probably, let's see, it was probably like 9 months later, I was talking to a friend, another female entrepreneur, and she was like, Nikki, like, I just want to let you know, because we were talking about colors and color psychology. She's like, whenever I think of you, I think of purple. And that really represents like authority to me. This was like 9 months of me wearing it, not every day. Like if you look at my Instagram, I'm not wearing it every day, but being strategic and wearing it consistently, especially on Zoom calls and interviewing for podcasts, wearing some purple. I already in those months was like known as the purple person. And honestly, I have seen this through another female entrepreneur that I know that wears a certain color often. When I think of her, I think of that color. And so you say you want your brand to be strong. You have to get dressed every day for your business unless you just wear whatever. You can use your style as a strategy to build strong recognition so that you are top of mind to people. When they need someone in your industry, guess who they are going to be thinking of? You. Or let's say a friend at a networking event. Maybe it's not even a friend. Their friend's like, oh, do you know this? Do you know a good financial advisor? And you are one. And you are consistent in your style and use it as a strategy. Boom. They don't even know the lady, but your name got mentioned in a room that you didn't even have to be a part of. And we know that referrals are often more like hot leads than cold leads because if they trust the person they got it from, like they already are a good way into trusting you. And so you can really use your style as a strategy when you are consistent with the coloring in your style and what you wear to create that brand recognition. Now, I have another statistic for you. Okay, so here's the thing too with color. A consistent brand color, how much? Improves brand recognition, not 50%, not 60%, by up to 80%. Just like those examples for Tiffany and Co., for FedEx. Just being strategic on the color that you are wearing can bring your brand recognition up by 80%. Making a decision on a color. Now, another story that I wanted to share with you with really creating it, choosing a color to create a strong, remembered brand. So I was reading a book. Oh, I can't think of the book name. It's about branding. And she was talking in the book. She shared a story of her friend who released a book. And during that like book release time, her friend wore this certain light blue color often, like where she went. So she was sharing on social media, like it just kept popping up, that consistent color. And it became so well known to the people that were like following her on whatever social media that she was getting messages of people saying, oh, I saw your color today in this thing. Oh, I saw your color when I was going to the coffee shop. Things like that. Now, we talk about, like how we want to be a great influencers, how we would love to build brands like Tiffany and Co. Maybe Nike you think of, or Disney or whatever, like these big, super well-known brands. What if it was so simple that you could just pick a color to go strong on with your style and it would create that strong brand recognition? What if And that's how things work, right? Like in business, we say that, like we want to find the golden goose egg to knowing how to do this and getting this revenue. And we want to know, like, okay, how do we create the best captions for Instagram? How do we do the best newsletters? And there's like, sometimes there is like little hacks and things we can tweak, and that is important to be getting better and getting skilled. But a lot of it, if you look at it, is consistency, right? Um, like I recently decided I have a lead magnet and I'm like, people need to know about this. And so I decided, you know what? I need to be consistent every single day, 5 days a week for 30 days. I am going to talk about it in my stories. I don't care if people get tired of it, like they are going to know that it is available because not everyone sees the stories every day, right? Um, when I'm doing it and highlighting different things, some people are going to like, oh, I'm gonna get that identity when I get that lead magnet, whereas another person's like, oh, I like that. I want that type of identity, right? But the key is consistency. And sure enough, like I was like day 2 or 3. It was like boom, like I saw how my consistency was paying off. And so consistency is so important in business, right? And so many different areas. And what's not talked about very often is consistency with your style to that affects your brand. And another just statistic that I'm going to throw at you because I just hope you can see how amazing this can be is that according to an Edelman research, 88% believe that trust has like the same value as price and quality. So people being able, so someone comes up and says like, hey, when I'm thinking about something, a brand, like price is important, quality is important, but also trust is very important. And 88% said that. And where does trust come? It comes from the consistency. So it's a simple thing, but not a lot of ladies are going to do it. And, if you're like, that's great, but am I going to get tired of the color? If you are really focused in your business, you have to share the same message over and over and over again, right? In different ways. You probably, and so many experts will say, the time when you are finally like landing the message for your audience, when you're just starting to land that message and people are been like, oh yeah, they're starting to understand and remember this message that you're saying over and over. The time when you're like, I do not want to say that one more time is when they are just starting to have that message land, have that message, have them they start understanding and remembering that message. So I would challenge you. How much do you want a recognized brand? You can do something that you have to do automatically to create that consistency that's going to create that strong brand recognition that are going to get people start seeing your color all over and thinking of you often. So here's a takeaway. If you are like, okay, yes, please. Yes, please. I want people to see a color and automatically think of me. I want people to have me in their head so much that they're at a networking event and my name gets mentioned in that room multiple times because I'm top of mind to that entrepreneur, and that's because I'm wearing consistent color. So here's the thing is that um there's a lot more about picking the right color for your business that really speaks your brand and looks best on you, looks best on your complexion. And if you would like to go deeper into that, I would love to connect. I will put my information down and we can chat and see if working together would be a good fit, both for me and for your business. But just a takeaway, if you were really to go want to start incorporating this, is pick a color, one color, and I would even say pick a shade that has to do with your brand logo color and wear consistently. Now, this does not mean every day. That's going to be a little too much. But I want you to start thinking about, like, first of all, the different ways that you can incorporate. It doesn't have to be just a shirt. It could be a shirt. It could be a pants. It could be a blazer. It could be a handbag. It could be jewelry, a necklace, earrings. Depending on what color it is, it could be your lipstick or eyeshadow. Okay, there's so many different ways. It could be a ring. It could be your nails. But I want you to think consistently and just learn to love it. And you will start getting in people's minds. They will trust you because they are seeing consistency. There's this thing called the mere exposure effect. And basically, it's this repetition. And people, like I said, trend to trust things that are familiar. That effect is going to happen. And you're going to become familiar to people. Even people, and this doesn't even have to be like you have to, they have to get to know you super well. Them honestly just, having your reel pop up and they see that color and maybe they don't even watch that full reel, or they see a story and you're wearing that color. They see that you went on a podcast recently and they see that color in some form. Like, all of that is going to create trust and brand recognition. So be creative in the way that you can get the color in your style and use it to really create a brand that is recognized and that is familiar and creates trust with your prospects that you would love to work with. And ultimately, what does that mean for you, female founder? It means sales, but also it means really creating that impact to reach more of your customers, to help them get the result that you promise. And that is one of the reasons why you're doing this, right? One of the reasons, because you know that God called you to create a big impact with your business. You can create an even bigger impact when you are consistent, when you figure out a color and you go all in with it and you are consistent, creating trust, creating recognition, and creating sales. More sales, more easily. And what that means is more impact, more ladies, or whoever your best client is, more of them reached and getting their result. So this was an amazing episode. Take it to heart. It can do amazing things for your business. All right. Well, information to connect is below. Know until next time that I am cheering you on in your style. Bye for now.